What's poppin', everybody? It's your boy Keison, and you already know you tuned into the industry's most wanted podcast.
You're aggravated, it's complicated, cause things may not always go your way.
I mean, you know, majority of the time, they're not gonna go your way, bro. It's life.
Your views are jaded, advice you hate it, because what you want.
Hey, what's going on, man? It's your girl, TampaMystic, and we are live on the industry's most wanted
Industry's most wanted.
Oh, hey, I'm excited because we got Doski in the building today. But listen, we have somebody so special here today, like out here working on his grind. He sings. He does everything in between, too. He goes by the name of Keicon. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
It's so good to see you.
Listen, it's good to be seen, and it's good to be here.
I'm glad that we've connected.
Definitely.
We've got a whole vibe already.
Already,
the chemistry's there.
I love it.
Yeah,
I feel like I've known you for my whole life.
Exactly.
You know?
You my cousin.
Right,
You know
you're
what I'm
definitely
saying?
my cousin. For sure.
Absolutely. But without further ado, man, go ahead and break it down. Who is Keison?
Well, what's up, everybody? Again, my name is Keison. That's Nissan with the K. I'm from Charlottesville, Virginia. However, I currently live in Los Angeles, California. I am a contemporary gospel recording artist. What is contemporary gospel? Contemporary gospel is basically modern R&B types of beats with the message of Jesus Christ.
I love the fact that you broke that down and explain it, because a lot of times people will say that they do something expecting that everybody knows what it means.
Exactly.
And they don't always.
You're right.
You broke it down, so thank you for doing that.
No, thank you. Got to educate the people.
You're
man.
amazing.
Thank you.
So you said you're originally from
Charlottesville, Virginia.
Charlottesville, Virginia. Okay. You grew up there?
Yeah, I grew up there. Well, I kind of grew up everywhere. My father, actually my last name, Dad, was in the Air Force. So we grew up all over the place.
Understood.
Was very cultured as a child.
Yeah.
Got to live overseas, Japan, all over the place, South Carolina. But I graduated high school from Charlottesville, Virginia, and then went to college in Virginia. So Virginia's home. What's up, 434?
I know that's right. Absolutely. So I heard you say that, you know, your dad was in the Air Force, so you guys travel a lot.
Yes.
You got to see a lot of different cultures.
Yes.
I think that's so important. Not everybody obviously has that opportunity as a child to do that.
Right.
But when they can, whether it's because they have a military family or just the family's, you know, able to travel a lot.
Yeah.
How important is it for you as a child growing up? Was it for you to be able to experience all these different cultures?
It was life-changing. It altered me as an adult, actually. I encourage everybody, if you can, leave your hometown. You never know how big the world is until you actually step out and leave.
Yes.
I often say, my friends often joke and say, if I would have stayed home, I probably would have been like a preacher or something by now.
Well.
I say that, right. A traditional preacher. I mean, I'm spreading the gospel through the music.
Yeah.
However, I just think it's very important to, you know, leave. Go
Yes.
somewhere. I mean, you don't got to stay away, but, you know, whether even if it's the beach, you know, 2 hours away, get out of your hometown, because you never know how big the world is until you leave.
Absolutely. And I think it gives you an appreciation for other cultures and why people do certain things.
Exactly.
You know, oftentimes we may see it on TV and you're like, why do they do that? Because we don't take the time to understand other people's cultures and
Right.
why they do stuff. Visiting these places, visiting them, even if it's for just a week, you kind of acclimate and say, okay,
Right.
now I understand.
Definitely.
Absolutely. What was the most interesting place you got to visit?
Oh, the most interesting place I visited. I'm gonna go with Yokota, Japan. I was a child. I was like in the second grade.
Yeah.
My experiences, I just remember everything being opposite. Like, our city buses were their school buses. Our school buses were their city buses.
Oh, wow.
We lived in a high rise, and I don't know why I remember this, but it smelled like Sprite. That's so random. But I remember that. Like, I remember the smell. I mean, granted, we lived on base.
Yeah.
I do remember, like, my mom taking us off base sometimes and seeing just a little bit of the culture. And
Yeah.
like, wait a second, is that a skinned dog hanging up there? However, it was the 90s, but that was the most unique place I've lived, I
Wow.
think.
That is amazing, though, that you got to actually experience that, because there's people who go their entire life that don't even leave their city,
Exactly.
let alone go to a whole nother country. So that's amazing you got to experience that.
Yes.
What other places did you live in as a child?
Charleston, South Carolina. Shouts to Goose Creek. Loved
Yeah.
it there. Washington, D.C.
Okay.
I felt like we lived in Alaska for a little bit. And I think
Bird.
that's right. It was.
Bird.
I just remember the sun like being up 24.
All the time. I heard that.
I remember that. And my mom, sorry if we did not live there, and that's just in my mind, but I feel like we lived there.
Yeah.
And then that was kind of pretty much it. Of course, Germany, traveling through and things, Korea and things of that that sort. But
Absolutely. Isn't it amazing that like we remember only certain things from our childhood, but the
Yes.
ones we do, they super stand out to
Yes.
us. And then like you said, like I have those times where I'm like, I think that this
Right.
happened, or I'm not quite sure, you know,
Right.
but in our mind it did happen.
Right.
Absolutely. Are your parents where they live at now?
my mom is. Matter of fact, both of my parents are in Charlottesville, Virginia.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Yeah, they're both there.
Dope.
Yeah.
What was it like there living in Charlottesville?
Charlottesville is a small town. For those of you who don't know Charlottesville, well, let me backtrack because Charlottesville has this. Ever since what was it, the alt-right and them came there, everybody's like, oh my God, it's such a crazy place. It's super chill. It's a small town. The University of Virginia is there.
Okay.
The second president, Thomas Jefferson, his house is there.
Oh, wow.
James Madison, his house is there. So it's really a space for like older people to come and retire.
Yes.
Or like young college kids to go to the University of Virginia. But it was pretty chill.
A lot of history, too,
Yeah,
it
a lot
sounds
of
like.
history there. I just remember, growing up as a kid, going to Tonsler Park, Parks and Recreation for the summertime.
Yeah.
Catching the city bus, going to the mall. It was fun.
That's
It was
dope.
great.
That's dope. So as a child, before music, was there something else that you ever desired to do?
Yes, actually working in television, which I'm currently doing that now. So
I know that's right.
music
Yes.
and TV, I feel like I manifested that. I remember my uncle had a camcorder, and there's actually a video that they showed me. It was my cousin's graduation. She was graduating from high school, and she let us try on her cap and gown. And she was like, well, what you want to be when you grow up? I was like, well, my name is Keison, and I'm going to be a producer when I grow up. And lo and behold,
There
I am
you
a
are.
producer.
You are doing it.
Definitely.
Let's talk about what you just said. I'm really big on, and as of lately, even bigger on manifesting stuff.
Definitely.
We absolutely have to do that because I'm a believer in we can do whatever we want, whatever we desire. How important is it for anybody out here, and you can speak to the people on this, for them to manifest the stuff that they really want to happen in their life?
Listen, well, there's a scripture in the Bible. I think it's Habakkuk 2:2. It says, write the vision and make it plain.
Okay.
So manifesting what you want, I think it's very important to have a clear vision because the people perish without a vision.
Yes.
So I feel like it's very important to write down your goals, write down not only your goals, but create a plan because, goals, what is it? I think the saying is dreams without a plan is just a dream.
It's
or
just a
something.
dream,
Just a
exactly,
dream.
yeah.
So with that being said, I think it's very important. I'm strategic to the T. Like even I'm here today. This was planned out literally like months in advance. I knew I got this album coming. We're gonna talk about that later.
Yes.
But it's just very important to write down what you want because if you write it down, it's one thing to be like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. But once you put it on paper, you're able to see it. And then you're able to actually break it down and check it off. I'm the king of to-do lists.
Yeah.
I will write a to-do list, put a little box, check. Did I do that? Did I do that?
Yeah.
But it's very, very important. And not only just writing it down. I always say people always are like, oh my God, you have so much potential. Like people fall in love with the potential.
Yes.
You're not supposed to fall in love with the potential. That's a red flag. You need to fall in love with the ambition because everybody got potential.
Yes.
But not everybody has ambition to get it done.
Yes.
So to you that are watching, write your visions down. You never know how obtainable it really is.
Yes.
Something that may seem so far, like I had something on my vision board at the beginning of the year, and that was to open for a national gospel recording artist.
Yeah.
At the time, it seemed so far. I wrote it down. An opportunity presented itself, and by March, I was able to open for an artist, and the artist was Ty Tribbett. Shouts to Ty Tribbett for his All Things New tour. But it's very, very important to write down what you want because it puts it in your face.
Absolutely. Look at God.
Definitely.
Look at
And
God.
faith without works is dead. It's not enough to just write it down. You have to act on it.
Absolutely. Have you been to the Stellar Awards yet?
Yeah, I did the Stellars last year.
Okay, so I know we're jumping off topic,
Yeah.
but how was that experience? I know it was beautiful.
It was great. I got to shout out. I think his name is Carlton. Shouts to Carlton. He's Atlanta based. He actually saw me perform at Open for Ty Tribbett, and he was like, "Yo, I want you to come out. I have a concert." So let me take that back. I did not do the actual Stellar Awards because I don't want to put that out there.
Yeah.
Call me Stellars though. I'm ready.
I know that's right.
However,
Holla.
I did like a pre-show because like with
course.
award shows they do like all this type of stuff.
Yeah.
So it wasn't an official pre-show for the Stellars, but it was like a service that
Yeah,
they had
absolutely.
a concert for independent artists, and I got to do that, and it was great. I enjoyed myself. I'm the type. I'm kind of weird. If I'm not working an award show, Or if I'm not nominated for something, I'm not going.
No, I agree. I'm the same way.
Right. I don't want to jinx myself. So I always want to say, like, my first time at the Stellars, I want to be able to be, like, accepting an award. So I can say, oh, my God, this is my first time here. I'm so excited. But, yeah, shout out to the Stellar Awards.
Are you familiar with Black Smoke?
Yes. I feel like I am. Somebody mentioned his name to me.
Yeah. So who else involved? So do you know Pastor Mike Jr.?
Okay, yes. Alabama.
Yes. I'm trying to think who else involved because the studio that we worked out of was owned by a pastor and they were tied in with Black Smoke, and that's how I met all them, and they all went to the Stellars, and it was just amazing just being on the sideline watching all that happen. Right. That is amazing. Absolutely. Yes. So yeah, I had to ask. So we're manifesting that. He's gonna get a Stellar Award, you guys.
I received
multiple.
I received it.
Not just one.
Listen,
all kinds of them. Yes,
with this album coming, it's gonna happen. My album is fire.
There you go. So let's just take a moment to kind of break down everything that you do, because you wear a lot of hats. Yeah. You do a lot of different things. Run through the list of all the things that you do.
Okay, so let's start. I have 2 degrees. If in my record I say not 1 but 2 degrees. So I have 2 degrees. I have my bachelor's in mass communications. Concentration is in film, and then I have my master's in film production. So professionally, I work as a casting producer, amongst other things, a development producer as well. And right now, I'm currently working on MTV's Help. I'm in a secret relationship, season 3, where we are looking for couples with issues. So if you got some issues, hit me up, DM me on my casting page. Casting, we may have to hit you up, brother. We may have to hit you up for real. DM me, Casting with Keison, on the casting side. But aside from there, because people are like, well, why don't you just do music full time? You're booked, gigs are coming. I'm like this, and I believe it was Millie Jackson who said, because I love watching interviews, she said she kept her job. She was signed, but she kept her job until the music paid her more than what her 9 to 5 paid her. And I'm that way. Right now, my 9 to 5 is my label.
Yes.
I was just telling somebody earlier, you don't have to go broke being an independent artist. No. Now, there are ways you can, set up your own label, so to speak, with the LLC and things of that nature. And I encourage everybody to do that and get your business credit up so you can sponsor your music through that business credit. Yes. However, if you're not at that stage, your 9 to 5 should be your label. 100%. So literally everything, all the money that I'm making from work, from my 9 to 5, so to speak, goes into the music.
Yes, I agree. Absolutely. And that's the same thing. This is basically my 9 to 5, and everything that I make, besides paying my bills, I pour back into here. I just bought new equipment for this room over here. Like, I'm always trying to upgrade and pour back into our business, because we are in an era where technology is constantly elevating. AI is taking over a lot of stuff.
It is. It is.
So we have to get on board, and we have to keep up with what's going on. And that comes with us investing into ourselves, our business, and into ourselves. Being a music artist is not a cheap or broke man sport, as they say.
Listen, it is not. And I mean, you may have the greatest song.
Yeah.
But if can't nobody hear it, it costs money.
Yes.
Marketing. Yes. Videos. I'm shooting videos now. I'm like, Lord. I need some sponsors. However, it's expensive.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize that. But like I always tell people, until you get signed by the label, if that's what you want to do, your 9 to 5 is your label.
Yes. And you have to fall in love with the process.
Yes.
Fall in love with the journey. If you don't fall in love with that stuff, you're never going to succeed. And that's, maybe just my opinion, but it's like you said, people fall in love with the potential.
Exactly.
And that's the wrong thing, because we all have potential.
Exactly.
We have to fall in love with our process and our journey, because it's different from everybody else's. Exactly. I can't compare myself to Dorilla because we're not the same people.
Right.
It might take different amount of time. Our journeys are completely different.
Right.
Are you an author?
No.
Have you thought about it?
Yeah, I have. It's down the pipeline. I have a cousin who's autistic, so I have a book teaching kids, how to love themselves on autism that I kind of wrote. I haven't published it yet. My main focus has been this album.
Understood.
Listen, this Christmas project and this album, but I will be. That's on my vision board for 2025.
I caught that vibe from you. I'm like, I bet you he's in.
Yeah.
Another thing to add to your resume.
Listen, okay.
I'm an author. Yeah, absolutely. So before we get into talking about this album, let's talk about on the film side.
Okay.
What all do you do? I know you said you do, you're a casting director, you're a video director. What all do you do on the film side? Break it down for us.
Okay, so casting producer. talent producer and development producer. So basically on the casting side, long story short, finding people to put them on TV.
Okay.
Whatever a specific show needs, we have our requirements. Hey, just literally DMing 24 hours.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you look single, or hey, you in a relationship, or hey, I've done this. I mean, I've worked on a lot of shows. So, I mean, I've done a lot of shows. So at this point, it's just more so finding the right people for that specific show. That's the casting side. The talent side, and mainly I do that on like The Voice and things of that nature. Just making sure, basically, we call it glorified adult babysitting. Making sure people get to where they need to be at the proper time. In reference to The Voice, making sure they're warmed up.
Yes.
Making sure, you know, they went through wardrobe, their hair is done, so that when it's their time to be on stage, they're ready. As far as the development side, that's more so in the creation side. So literally from idea, concept, putting it on paper, figuring out what that specific story is. From that specific story, coming up with a pitch, deck, and template. And then from that, actually creating a sizzle reel to kind of see like this is what the show is going to be, and or a pilot, and then potentially selling that to a network so it can get syndicated.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
You do a lot.
It is a lot.
Wow.
I live in LA. It's expensive. So
You have to
you
do a
gotta
lot.
have more than one bag. That's real life.
Multiple hustles.
Literally.
Nah, that is really dope. And you don't even have to necessarily call out any of the particular shows, but give us one of your craziest scenarios that you've encountered when you were doing some casting.
Okay. Well,
Give us the juice, man.
let's see. Let me go. I've worked on a lot of shows. So the craziest. Well, it's not really the craziest. It's the number one thing I always get. Is this real? Like is this a real show? And
Yeah.
then like this just happened to me. They'll make you go down your whole resume. I'm like, so for me, I'm like, checked out my LinkedIn. It's always, you know, Google me.
Do your
you know,
due diligence,
look
homework.
Look at my Instagram page. Look at my videos where I'm literally showing my name. Like my phone is to the TV in the credits. That's my name. Like I really do this. Like I'm not trying to scam you. And I always tell people, and this goes across the board, and even if you guys you run into this, take this nugget. If anybody asks you to pay money to be on a show, chances are it's a scam. Like nobody's gonna ask you, especially no network syndicated show. If anything, we paying you.
Yes.
Like, we're not gonna be like, oh, because you know sometimes you get those emails. It's like, hey, this is Barbara with OVO Records. We saw your music. We want you to send. If you send $399, it's like, what? That doesn't even make sense. Why would I send you money? You what? You supposed to give me money? So just not really a crazy scenario, because I don't really have that many. I mean, other than the one person like who isn't right for the show and they're like constantly blowing up your phone.
Yeah.
Like, hey, did I get picked? Did I get picked? Did I get picked? I'm like, no, you didn't fill out an application. Like I already told you the casting's closed. Like stop reaching out to me. But I'm not really crazy, but more so are you real?
But that actually led into, like you said, giving a good nugget. Like people, need to understand that people get scammed all the time.
Every day.
I hear it from a lot of these artists because of those exact emails. They'll get an email saying that they're from 1017 or trust me, Gucci Mane and his team are not emailing you, and they're definitely not asking you for no money.
Okay.
Don't fall for the okie doke. And the same thing, like you said, with the casting.
Fell for the okie doke in 2014. No, real life story. And I'm going to dog y'all till the day I die. I want my money back. I was new. I was like green. I had just put out my first single in 2015, Awesome God. And here comes this label, Christian City Records. I still remember y'all. Y'all gonna have y'all day. I promise that. Mark these words. Y'all gonna get y'all day. However, I sent them this money. I thought they were real. Like one of my friends had like their scam was elaborate. They were putting people in the studio. Like,
wow.
I had linked up with artists. Turns out a class action lawsuit had ended up happening. I need to follow up with them on that. However, I got that kind of like ruined my mood for a while. Like I stopped doing music after that for a while because I was like, wait a second, it's cruel out here.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to put out my little song and I got scammed.
It is dirty out here
It's
oftentimes.
real dirty,
Yeah.
real dirty. People will try you.
But you know what though? Like, not to say I'm glad that happened, but also at the same time, I think we have to go through stuff like that to make us more aware.
You're right.
Learn how to do our homework, do our due diligence, study, you know, who's real, who's not. So next time if you get an email like that, you'll know chances are it's probably a fake. But, you know, do your little research.
I got a lawyer now.
There you go. Nah, for real. It's going straight to the lawyer.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Straight to the lawyer.
That's important too as an artist, especially when you start making moves or, you know, whatever you need an entertainment attorney or a lawyer or somebody to represent you to read through these fine print contracts that you may not understand all that legal jargon.
Right.
That's important. Absolutely. I know we were anticipating talking about this album. You know what I'm saying? We've been talking about the film side, but I'm excited to hear. So before we even get into that, have you released previous albums?
This is my debut album.
This is your baby.
I'm so excited for this album, y'all. I was supposed to release an album, and it's so funny the way God works. Timing, I believe in timing.
Yes.
Timing is everything. I've released EPs. I released multiple singles and Christmas projects. However, this is my debut album. I was supposed to release a traditional gospel album in 2020, but the pandemic came, and I was like, nah, this it just doesn't feel right. I want to be able to, you know, tour. I want to be able to, like, you know, recoup my money.
I agree.
So to
I
speak,
agree.
Shoot videos, and it was a traditional gospel album, which both of my parents are in the ministry. Grandfather's a pastor, so like everybody knows me for like the traditional side. I sung with Virginia State University Gospel Chorale. We did America's Got Talent in season 8 in 2013.
Nice.
Then I did BT Sunday Best in 2009. They aired my audition, so everybody was kind of used to me singing a certain way. And then my debut single was also traditional gospel. But after I went to college, I was like, I don't want to sing traditional gospel right now. Like, everybody knows that for me. I want to do the contemporary stuff.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I grew up on, you know, 90s R&B, Jodeci. Like, I mean, it was a well balance in my home. My mom was a young mother when she had me, so as she was growing up, I was growing up with her. So it's kind of like I wanted to be able to take those 90s aspects, you know, that R&B great feel, and just mix it with a message. So this album is that.
Absolutely. I think having more contemporary is going to open you up to a much broader audience.
Definitely.
Because even though it's still gospel, you're going to get people who maybe are on the secular side. They might not even necessarily recognize that it's gospel. They just know that it's good R&B music.
Exactly.
And it's going to open you up to a broader audience.
And it has. And I was just sharing that with someone earlier, that most of the places that I'm asked to come are secular venues.
Yes.
I'm in the club singing.
Yes.
I'm at conferences. I'm at concerts, like opening, and it's very shocking because I was like, wow, this is so crazy. I thought, you know, more the churches, youth departments would have called me, but it's really like more the clubs, and especially in LA, in New York and things of that. And even in Atlanta, it's more so the clubs. And I'm just thankful that I can be that light in, you know, this dark world in those certain spaces.
Absolutely, because there is a lot of darkness out there, especially when you do get into some of these spaces on the secular side, because, you know, as you and I know, there's a lot of these young artists that are either becoming incarcerated or losing their lives. And put the guns down, you guys. Like, seriously, put these up right here. You know what I'm saying? And put the guns. That's what we did in my day.
Listen,
in high
nobody would have fight no more.
No,
They just
because
wanna
they're
shoot.
all cowards.
Right.
I'm going to say it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they don't, you know why? This is my opinion. We're getting off subject. It's because of these right here.
You're right.
They're afraid of getting their butts kicked on camera and it ending up on social media.
Right.
But guess what? I'd rather that be on social media than either end up dead or in jail.
That part.
Take heed, you guys. Most definitely. So how many songs are on the album?
Okay, so the album is 10 songs, but there will be a deluxe.
Okay.
And that's going to be 15, 16 songs.
And the title?
It's called I Hear You.
I hear you. Okay.
Yes.
So that title probably could be taken in a lot of different ways. They're like, he hears who? You hear God,
Right.
You hear me, you hear your partner. Break it down. Why did you come up with that title?
Okay, I Hear You. It's kind of a sermon.
Yeah.
It was a season of my life where I was reckless and wild. I went to HBCU. I literally grew up.
Turn up.
It was a turn up time. It was a turn
Got
up
it out
time.
your system.
I pray it's all out. However, I was just living really reckless and foul, to be honest. Like, again, because I grew up in the church, and it kind of sucks. Sometimes you can just get in the habit of doing things. And I often say I never want to be in a space where people just know me as, oh, this church kid, but then they know me as that, but then my heart is so far away from Christ himself. Because everybody always thinks that, oh, you go to church, like you're perfect. No, that's not the case. Most
You're
of the people,
still a human being.
Literally, most of the people who go to church have the most issues, and that's why we are at church, because we know we cannot do it on our own, and we need a higher power to assist us daily. So I Hear You just was a compilation of from 2019 to really this year, the beginning of this year, of just all the things I went through. And I don't think I've shared this yet, but I'm going to share this here.
Yes.
I smoked weed for 12 years. 12 years.
He was a smoker, you guys.
I was a smoker, y'all. A pot head. Literally.
Okay, so were you smoking the good gas or the mid?
It was the good gas. It was the good gas. But I got to a point.
I love how transparent you are.
Yeah, I feel like that's important, especially in this day and age. The scripture says we overcome by the words of our testimony.
Yes.
So I don't know, maybe me saying this will help some of you guys get off the blunt.
Yeah.
But I was on the blunt and I was depressed. And I didn't even realize I was depressed because I was just high all the time.
Yes.
So I had to stop and be like, wait a second, what is my life? I've done so much. Yes, to God be the glory. I've done so much in my life to this point. But I was like, wait, this can't be it. And I don't even know why I was depressed. I was doing so much. And then I just was like, well, let me put this blunt down.
Yeah.
And when I realized, I was like, wait a second, I can't put this blunt down. Something's wrong. So I quit. And I don't know how many months I'm sober. What month is this?
September.
September. I haven't smoked a blunt since December 17th of last year. So I'm still new. I'm coming up on a year. I'm coming up on a year, but I don't have a desire for it.
Yeah.
That would be my stress. Like when I was stressed, instead of me going to prayer, I would go to the blunt.
Yes. And that's the thing is when smoking weed, there's many different strands and it affects everybody differently. For me, it makes me want to go to sleep. Some people feel like they have to smoke it to be creative, and that's cool. For me, I don't smoke it anymore because all it did is put me to sleep. I don't care if it was indica, sativa, I don't care. Right. I felt like I wanted to go to sleep. So I'm like, I don't want to walk around sleepy all the time. So I just don't do it, I do take the gummies sometimes.
Right. See, I told myself that I needed it to be creative, but it was a lie. It was a lie I was telling myself. And once I realized the root as to why I started smoking because I didn't know who I was.
Yeah.
I was again, this church kid, fresh out of Charlottesville, Virginia, small town. Then I did go to community college for a year where I stayed with my auntie. Yeah. But that was kind of I'm the only I was the first guy born in my family in a long time.
Oh, okay.
And my mom, on my mom's side, was all aunts. I had an uncle, but he passed away. So they babied me.
Yeah.
I was the oldest, they babied me. So even then, I was like, okay, I kind of know who I am. I've always been confident in myself. But it wasn't until I got to Virginia State, I was like, wait a second. I was surrounded by all these different types of black people.
Yes.
And I just was like, wait a second, who am I? And then I kind of got around the wrong crowd, and that one blunt just kind of turned into 12 years. And I looked up, but I made a conscious decision, you know what? I'm loved. I'm the righteousness of God. I don't need this.
Absolutely.
I'm better without it, and I quit cold turkey, and I've been doing good ever since.
Absolutely. There's so many other things that we can do, getting outside and getting some sunshine and some fresh air that will make you feel better.
You're right.
Eating right, exercising, all those things, that to me is what my high is. That's where I'm at in my life. My high and what makes me feel good is taking care of my body.
Right.
It's our temple, right?
Right.
We have to take care of it. And it sounds like you're absolutely on that same path and that same journey.
Yes. Once I put the blunt down, I was able to focus.
Yeah.
I was able to complete things. I know I spoke about writing down, having a clear vision and being ambitious, but I was that guy. On the outside looking in, it was like, oh my God, you got your master's. It took me a while to get to that place to actually complete things. So I was the guy with great potential.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until I really put that blunt down those few months ago that it was like, okay, now I have no excuse. Like
Yes.
I can see clearly now. The smoke is gone. Like literally.
I love you got a great sense of humor about it too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I enjoyed it. It was fun. Sometimes I have moments, but I'm like, I don't need that. I don't need that. I'm loved. I'm secure in who I am. I don't need that. And maybe stinking. I don't want my car to smell like that.
No, for real. That's why we don't let people smoke in here. And it's
Stinking.
funny because let me tell you, some of these artists come in here and they're here for less than an hour.
Right.
We'll say 35 minutes. And they're like, oh, I can't smoke. I'm like, bro, you can't go 30 minutes without smoking.
Listen,
like,
that was me, Aiko. I understand. I'm like, oh, I can't roll a bud. Oh, I can't roll a bud.
yeah,
and,
you know.
And I wasn't raised like that. So it was kind of like, I got tired of like, I mean, it was a point where I was like, look, Mom, I smoke. I'm sorry. However, I got tired of hiding. And then you got to know, do I smell like smoke?
And
Did
it
somebody
becomes
smell?
expensive too.
It was. And I live in LA.
Oh, so it's
a
probably super expensive.
Yeah, well, it was cheap, but I was spending like $1,000 a month.
Wow, because you got all the dispensaries and stuff out there.
On weed, and I save so much more money now. I'm able to put money into the music. I'm able to be like, oh, okay. Instead of buying, this 8, let me put that in my account.
Exactly. Absolutely. Do you know DJ Nina 9 out there in LA? She's on Sirius XM. She's a big female DJ out there.
Nah, I
Absolutely.
haven't heard of her.
You got to like connect with her. She's a whole vibe.
Okay.
Most definitely.
I will look her up.
So let's talk about this album a little bit more.
Okay.
So 10 songs
10.
on I Hear You.
Yes.
A deluxe will be 15.
Correct.
Are you releasing them simultaneously? Or are they going to be spaced out? How is that going to go?
Okay, so I've already released the debut single entitled My Good. You guys going to hear that on the Most Wanted show
Yes.
soon. I've released that already. And then the next single, I actually put out a filler single, so to speak. It's called Questions. That's featuring Vakai, which is my cousin. Shout out to us for that one. I didn't want to put no more records out from the album until I got my videos done.
Understood.
I feel like in today's market, we see things first and then we listen.
Yes.
So videos are coming to that. I probably will start putting out more records. I got one more record to put out this year. I think it's either going to be between Pray and or Big Flex. I have videos for both that are done. I just need to figure out which one I want to put out. And then my Christmas EP is coming, which that's 7 songs.
That is so dope. So let's talk about that for just a moment.
Okay.
Your Christmas EP, is it going to be all your music, or are you going to be singing music?
Me.
It's all you.
It's all original records.
All original records.
I have a great community of friends and singers that I'm with all the time, and I want to showcase some of them.
Absolutely.
So I got a lot of features on that one. Each song literally has a feature. It's going to be narrated by my niece, Carrington N. Carter. She's 6, so
That's
I just
cute.
we're gonna do some animation work with that because she loves seeing herself on TV, which is funny, but
That's
she
sweet.
loves the music. So I was like, you know what? I want to do something different. Each year I'm gonna put out Christmas music, whether it's a single, whether it's I feel like Christmas. Who don't love Christmas?
Absolutely. It's one of the happiest times of the year.
I
you
love
know,
it.
me
Merry Christmas.
too. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Look, I'm already planning for like how I'm gonna get my nails done for Christmas. I be that into it. Like, give me the red and the green and
Yes.
I be that. I love it. Absolutely.
Love Christmas.
Sing one of your give us maybe 20 seconds of one of your Christmas songs, if you don't mind.
Okay. So this one is Jesus Christ is Coming to Town. Let's see. Oh, you better not quit. You can't give in. Don't you dare give up and give in to sin. Jesus Christ, he's coming to town. Oh, he knows when you are sleeping. He knows when you are awake. He knows when you are here or there. So it's better give or take. Oh, you better not quit. You can't give in. Don't you dare give up and give in to sin. Jesus Christ, he's coming to town.
I love your rendition of that.
Thank you.
You're so creative.
Thank you.
Are you always a writer, or do you ever kind of just freestyle your music, or do you always write everything that you put out?
No, I sometimes freestyle. That
Okay.
record actually was written by Twyla Jackson. She's a amazing singer-songwriter based in Virginia.
My grandma's name
yes.
is Twyla.
Oh, love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Yes, Twyla, she actually sings with Pharrell's Voices of Fire.
Nice.
So shout out to Twyla. Love you, girl. But she wrote that, but sometimes I'll hear a record and I'll just literally go off the dome and I'm like, oh, what did I say? Or I'll hear a beat and I'm like, okay, what is this trying to say to me?
Yes.
And that's how majority, going back to I Hear You, that's how majority of those records came. I think I wrote all of them except maybe two songs on the project.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 songs and then maybe 3 on the deluxe that I did not write.
Wow. When can we anticipate it?
January 19th.
Okay. What's the significance of that date?
Nothing. Nothing at all. It's the first quarter. You know, I was like, that'll give me some
You're
time.
hilarious. You should do a little stand up.
Everybody says that when I'm working on Universal, they always crack me up. The security guards, like, because, you know, Universal, they have the trams. They're
Right.
like, Kevin Hart, everybody, Kevin Hart. And everybody's like taking their phones out. And I'm like,
That is funny.
no, stop playing with me. So I wish I had his money. But no.
Nah, me
no.
too.
Yeah.
That is dope. So you're so funny. You said nothing.
Nothing.
But now it has a significance. This
Yes.
is your baby.
Yes.
This is your baby that's coming out January 19th.
Yes.
It'll be distributed on all the platforms.
All DSPs. It will be available. Videos coming. I'm excited. Deluxe
Yes.
will be out in June. My birthday's June 6th, so it'll be out deluxe then.
You're a
yep,
Gemini.
I am.
I know about them Geminis. You over here and over there.
Listen, that's why I had to put the blunt down.
Yeah.
Because it was too much,
Yeah.
too many people. I was like,
Absolutely.
hold on, this
That
ain't
is
for me.
amazing. So how long has this project been in the works?
Okay, I literally, no lie, I wrote my first record, My Good. I heard the track. I was like, you know what? Because normally each year, me, my siblings, it's 4 of us, but 3 of them from my mother, me included in the 3. We normally come back home for the holidays, and then like my mom will have us like sit around the dining table and we'll do our vision boards. So she was like, well, what are you guys gonna do this year, you know, for your vision board? I was like, you know what? I'm gonna finish my album.
There
I'm
you
gonna
go.
do it. She was like, are you really gonna do it this year? I'm like, I'm really gonna do it. So I literally, after we did that vision board party, I went downstairs, got my little collection of beats, and I was like, okay, the first record I wrote was My Good. And from there, that was in January, came back to LA, I think maybe the second week of January, literally jumped in the studio. And I think it took me, I sent my project to get mixed in March the 12th.
Oh, so you did it in like,
Knocked it out.
boom. Like
Yes, I
two
recorded-
2.5 months.
Yes, recorded 40 songs.
40?
40.
40?
40 songs.
40. Yeah. Faux.
Yes.
Zero.
40. And then I had a
Wow.
listening party with my team. And I was like, guys, this is what I've been doing. They was like, where you been? You been missing? I've been recording,
Man,
working.
you've been locked
in the
in.
studio. Locked in, literally. I mean, I reached out to a few. I was like, can you write me some records? You know, I'm thinking about doing this album.
Yeah.
Did it. 40 records. We had a listening party. We broke it down to 20. Out of those 20, I was like, I took those 20 to another set of people. Was like, all right, I need to break this down to 10 songs.
Yeah.
Well, no, I was like, I need to break this down to 15.
Right.
And then we got it. And I was like, now out of this 15, let's break this down into 10.
Yes.
And then with everybody's list, we came up with the 10 we got.
I love it. I think that's a beautiful starting point to give them 10 because, you know, depending on the length of the songs, you
Right.
might be in the 30-ish minute range,
Yeah, it's
which
about 38.
easy
30,
to listen to.
39,
Yeah. And then you come with the deluxe behind
Yes.
that. So you're giving them 5 additional
Yes.
songs.
Yes.
Now, let me ask you this. On the 10 songs that are on the album that's coming out, how many features are on there?
0.
0. So it's all you.
All me.
Deluxe will have some features.
Yes.
I love how you did that.
Yes.
So you're giving them 100% you
Yes.
on the 10 that's coming out. Feature wise on the other 5, are you able to tell us any of the features or is it a big surprise? No pressure.
It's a surprise.
Okay.
I'm still trying to lock 2 major people in, but we're close.
Yeah.
We're close.
Oh, it's going to happen.
It will.
We're manifesting all that.
It will happen.
I'm excited for you.
Thank you so much.
So what are some of the things that you are doing to really gear yourself up on we'll say on a PR side, you know, like
Okay.
media wise and stuff. You're here with me today, so I
Yes,
appreciate that.
yes.
What are some of the other things you're doing to gear up for the release and anticipation of the album?
So like you said, I'm here with you.
Yes.
I'm here with you. I have some the mic session videos.
Oh
that
yeah,
are
I
coming.
love those. Yeah,
I
the drop the mic
yes,
types. Yeah,
those types of things. I have 2 more tonight. We've done 5 so far.
Wow.
5 music videos coming for my 5 specific songs that I want. And then I'm hitting different markets. I'm in Atlanta this week. I'm in New York in October. And then December, I'm in Texas. And then I'm hitting LA in January. So I'm just, you know, making my rounds. I did a virtual tour last last year. Yeah, I did a virtual tour last year. So I was able to see in which markets, in which areas that I did well in the tour. And then I'm going overseas, which I'm excited. I love overseas.
Yes.
They just think I'm like Chris Brown or somebody over there.
Can you dance like Chris?
No. No. I can do a little choir clap, a little.
You are so funny.
No, I can't.
He said a little choir clap.
I can't do all that. I can't. No. Give me a mic, no auto tune, no nothing. That's me. Give me just a track and a stage.
No, we're looking as a dancer.
You can dance.
He ain't got the mega knees no more. Hush your mouth.
Nah, I got your little quack.
Yeah,
little quack.
get a little 1-2 on them.
That's it. I do my little 2-step.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. I love it though. I love everything that you have going on. How do you balance work-life balance?
I'm working on that.
Yeah,
I really am. It is a balance because doing this music thing is a lot. Like I've professionally been doing this since 2014. Yeah, and then even singing on tour with Virginia State University Gospel Chorale, where I was able to go overseas. Which I was like, I'm huge overseas. They love me because they remember me from being with the choir.
Yeah.
However, it's just making sure that I give 100% from. What time I work? Because each show is different. I work 8 to 5. Making sure I give 100% 8 to 5. And then after 5, making sure I give, at least 100% to my music. Like, it's a balance. Like, both are jobs. Like, most of the times when I tell my coworkers, they're like, oh, so, tell us about you. And because I'm very hesitant to give my personal social media away to, like, my coworkers because they always like, can you sing happy birthday? Or can you do that? I'm just like, no, that's another bag.
Right,
no,
exactly.
However, when they find out, they're like, you didn't tell us, like, that you've done all of this. And I'm like, yeah. Because I don't want you to have a preconceived notion.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you have to be mindful of that because honestly, like I was at my last job for 12 years. And when they got wind that I was doing this, shortly after that, they suddenly didn't need me no more and laid me off. Mm-hmm. So that's another reason why. And like, fortunately I was already kind of set up, but it was tough because I wasn't all the way there yet. But yeah, so you have to be mindful of talking about that type of stuff. If you have like a 9-to-5 and you're working for someone else, because in their mind, they want you to dedicate 100% of your life to them.
And I work remote.
Yeah, see,
I work from home.
I guess is that a bittersweet for you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I make myself leave my house.
Yes.
That's why I start gigging as much as I do, just so I can leave the house. And that goes back to kind of why I was depressed. We was all in the house for 2 years.
Yeah.
COVID had us. That was weird. It was the best of times and it was the worst of times.
Absolutely.
Definitely the best of times because everybody was able to stack their money and, recoup on just life. However, it was the worst of times because a lot of us were dealt. We had to deal with ourselves in those times. And it was a lot. Some people folded. Some people were able to produce great things. Yes. Some were stagnant.
Absolutely.
And, thank God I caught COVID. Thank God I'm alive because so many people died from it. I'm actually talking about that in the album.
Yes, 2021, my mom had COVID pneumonia. I lost her. So
I'm sorry to hear that.
That was the hardest time of my life. Doe knows I had so much anxiety during that time. Like I drove everybody away because I was just not nice to be around.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So it was tough, but you're absolutely right. A lot of people lost their lives to it. Did. You know what I'm saying? I never got it though.
Lucky.
Knock on wood.
Listen, I wrote a letter. I was like, I've lived a great life. I want my sneakers to go to my brother, my CDs to my God.
You had your living will?
Listen, I thought it was over.
Listen, but you know what, though? To keep it all the way G, it's so important. We have to have a living will.
Oh, yes. I'm 30-something.
He 30.
Right, I'm 30. She said it.
Dirty 30.
Right. I'm in my 30s, and and that's another nugget. You don't think about that in your 20s. Make sure you have life insurance.
Life insurance.
That's so important. I hate to see
health insurance.
Right. It sucks when you see those families. It's like, dang, they had all this bread, but now you got to do a GoFundMe. And that's so it's tough. And I understand it's expensive.
It is.
Especially today with gas. I looked at the gas. I said, y'all gas $3.42. Gas in LA right now is $7.60.
Whoa.
Thank God I got an electric car. But still,
yeah, that's insane. But you are right. A lot of people, and I'm glad we're touching on it briefly. Like life insurance.
It's important.
Have a living will,
Yes.
which a lot of people don't understand that what it is, because you want people to know what you want to happen to you personally.
Right.
Like my mother, when she transitioned, I knew exactly what she wanted and didn't want because she had a living will.
Love that.
I knew that she didn't want to be on life support. She
Right.
didn't want to be resuscitated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Having that in place is important. And then, of course, having an actual will so there's no debates within the
Exactly.
family who's getting one, because that tears a lot of families apart.
And with you saying that, and I think it's so important to have that living will because, like you said, it tells everybody if you don't want to be buried in green,
Right.
you know, it's like, do you want to be cremated? Do you
Yeah,
want to, like my
exactly.
family? No, put me in a palm tree.
There you go.
Cremate me, put me in a palm tree so I can provide shade in the afterlife.
I love that. Listen, he's a whole vibe. I'm just saying.
That's funny, but
But-
no, so true.
Absolutely, me too. And I once my mom and my dad instilled that into me, that was like one of the first things that I did. You know what I'm saying? Me and my dad, we got an attorney and we made it a super official. I don't know if you know what a ladybird deed is, but that's another thing. You know, a lot of times people, their stuff can go into probate if they're not like if they have a home but it's not owned.
Right.
Get you a ladybird deed that avoids the whole going into probate and getting messy and going to court. So there's just a lot of stuff that we have to think about in this life that can happen in the afterlife that could burden
Definitely.
our people. So
Definitely.
not to get off subject, but I'm
Right.
so glad you brought that
No,
up
definitely.
because people need to hear it.
That's real. Get it, y'all. It's expensive, but it's worth it.
Yes.
And you can borrow on it, especially if you're doing music.
That's
you can
right.
Borrow on it. It's life insurance is for you when you are alive.
You can have life insurance with an annuity attached to it.
Literally.
I worked for Raymond James for a few years, so I learned about that.
Okay.
I used to help them write the policies, and that's
Nice.
what they do. They would have life insurance with annuities or a
Nice.
rider on there. And like you said, you can borrow
Yep.
off that or cash out on it at some point in time.
You can.
Yeah. Man, it was a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you
I
so
like having
much.
these kind of conversations.
Yes, thank you for having me.
I told you, we try to go 25, but we at 45.
Oh,
You know
listen.
what?
It's the vibes. I mean, that's all it is.
When you catch
family.
a vibe with
Right.
someone, yeah, absolutely.
Right.
So the album will be out January 19th.
January 19th.
And then the deluxe album, did you say it's releasing shortly
June.
after? In June.
June,
So
yeah.
you're going to let them really get acclimated for about 6 months
Yeah.
with the first version, and then the
Yes.
deluxe will come out in June.
Correct.
That is amazing. Absolutely. Tell everybody what the current single is that they need to go check out and listen to. That way they can kind of get familiar with you
Okay.
before the album releases.
Y'all, it's Keison here. Please make sure you check out My Good. It's available on all DSPs. That's Keicon. My Good. It's available right now. It's a great preview to what you're going to hear on I Hear You, the album dropping January the 19th.
Who produced that record?
Oh, Keison produced that record.
Oh, okay.
Boop, 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 boop.
Bow, 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 bow.
Yes, I did. I didn't really get it. I mean, aside from like my vocal producer, shouts to LaPortia Thompson. She did vocal produce me on that. But I did all my background vocals. I
Wow.
did it all myself. I literally locked myself in our studio
That's amazing.
and recorded it, sent it off to Heafy, mixed it.
Okay.
Shouts to Heafy, Jeffrey Turner. He does like a lot of people in LA, and
Yeah.
he mixed and mastered it. And yeah, I'm super excited. Got to work with a lot of great producers who did the beats. So I'm super excited. It's a great collection of music, and it's a great introduction of who Keison, the artist, is.
Absolutely. Most definitely. So before we give out your social media and shout outs and stuff, is there anything else that you want to make sure that the people know about that we may not have covered?
Yes, I just want to encourage everybody, chase your dreams. Write it down. Write it on paper. You never know what you can achieve by just writing it down. Faith without works is dead. You are loved. If you don't feel loved, you are loved. There's somebody looking out for you. You can live tomorrow. You can keep going on. Someone loves you, man. That's pretty much what I want to lead the people with.
I love it. It's powerful. People need to hear that because
That's
there's a
facts.
lot of people out here who really feel like they have nobody.
Facts.
They feel like nobody loves them. Nobody, if not for nothing, the man above loves
Facts.
you. I promise you that.
Facts.
Absolutely. And don't be afraid to take risk.
Yes.
You know,
Don't
no
be
risk,
afraid.
no reward,
That
right?
part. That's
Yeah.
so true. So true.
Absolutely. Well, 3 things we got to do before we get up out of here.
All right.
First, I want to say thank you for being here. You were a whole vibe.
Thank you for having me.
You brought that good energy.
Thank you.
You're my last interview of the day,
Hey.
and you just closed it out with amazing energy. So
Thank
I
you
wanted
so
to give you
much.
that.
And thank
Absolutely.
you for your platform, like what you're doing. I saw you on Instagram, and thank you for doing that sponsor post because had you would have not, I would have never saw you. So thank you for that. Shouts to Instagram, Facebook Meta.
Yes, that
was great.
sponsor post be
Literally,
working.
I'm all the way from I'm from LA. That's on the other side. Like there's no slow way, you know. And I mean, it's so crazy. I listen to the radio. Support your radio.
Yes.
But I've been in album mode, so I just literally been listening to me.
Of course, as you
However,
should. Yeah.
I'm just so thankful for you and just for the opportunity that you are giving artists, independent artists like myself, to come, you know, share their story and share their music. And I just pray nothing but success for you and your platform.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Absolutely. So the 3 things we got to do before we get out of here. 1, tell everybody where they can follow you.
Okay, you can follow me on Instagram at @IAM__KEICON. That's @IAM_Keison. And YouTube, KEICON. Facebook, KEICON. TikTok, IAM__KEICON. And everything else, Keison. Just look me up.
I know that's right. He got a nice smile too, you guys.
Thank you. Paid a pretty penny for these.
Absolutely. Who do you want to shout out to?
Okay, first and foremost, I want to give a shout out to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Yes.
I want to give a shout out to my family, my team holding it down. POP, holding it down. What you remember to be?
Yeah.
To all Charlottesville, Virginia, shout out to y'all, LA. My family, you know, y'all support me with everything. I owe the world to y'all. Make sure, January 19th, I Hear You, the album is dropping.
And shout out to yourself.
Thank you so much. I want to thank me for being me. But no, it's really no goodness on my own. Like, I'm just a wretch undone, you know, a sinner saved by grace, trying to tell somebody, you know, that yesterday may have been crazy, but tomorrow can be better.
But you're out here motivating people.
Thank you.
Whether you know it or not.
Thank you.
You are, so definitely shout out to yourself.
Thank you. Appreciate
Whether
that.
you receive that or not, I'm shouting you out.
I receive it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Last but not least, we are live. This may be loud.
Industry's
most wanted.
most
Boom.
wanted.
You got to let the whole world know what makes you the industry's most wanted.
What makes me the industry's most wanted is I got Jesus on my side. And if you got Jesus on your side, you can never fail.
Straight like that. Period. I appreciate you. Give me some love, man.
Thank you for having me.
Good energy, positive vibes. You're very welcome. It was a pleasure to have you here.
you.
We up out of here, y'all.
Peace.
Love, peace, and hair grease.
Your friends are tripping, running their mouth about you, saying things that are just not true. Things may not